Yo, what's going on, guys? We're hearing reports that the Lakers are discussing internally to sign Chris Paul if he is waived and then bring back D'Angelo Russell to have a point guard by committee. You assume that they're also going to bring back Schroeder. So Schroeder and Russell would be your co-six mans, or Chris Paul and Schroeder would be your co-six man. They would run a point guard by committee because Schroeder can be a microwave, so can Russell. Then you got the floor general and Chris Paul, who still can give you 14 points a night, but will be able to dish out, like 10 assists, okay? And it's actually a great idea. So Jovan Buha of The Athletic is the one who put this out there. And D'Angelo Russell, I personally think he'll sign a deal very similar to what Tyus Jones signed, which was like a 2-year, $30 million deal. And again, he was not bad this past year, except in the final series, he wasn't good, okay, against the Nuggets. But in the regular season, he averaged 17.5 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds for the Lakers in 17 games, playing 31 minutes a night. Those aren't bad numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless of what you think of our man, I really do think he's a guy who can be useful for them. Bring him back on a 2-year deal, okay? You're probably bringing back Dennis Schroeder unless somebody pays him an outrageous amount of money, which I doubt. And you also bring in Chris Paul, who's easily a 14-8 guy for you, playing 30 minutes a night. Probably you have D'Lo playing, 24, 25 minutes a night as backup point guard, but also backup shooting guard if they ever want to go smaller and get some more shooting. And you got to bring back Schroeder. I mean, this guy, I know he shot 41% from the field, but 12.5 points a night, which is surprisingly a little down from what he had his first go around with the Lakers, averaging 15.5. But Schroeder's a very capable shooter, and he's a willing defender, okay? There was many moments in the playoffs where Schroeder's defense came up and was big for them. So I think you add Chris Paul in there, who's still a really good three-point shooter, okay? I really like that trio of – we're used to the phrase – center by committee, but I have always been infatuated with the idea if somebody runs a point guard by committee. And I personally have always thought, a team like we're going to use Miami Heat, for example. I thought, okay, if they're going to really stick with Kyle Lowry, they need to go out and get, 2 more guards. And I always joked around with friends saying that like a team like the Heat would thrive if they could bring in Ricky Rubio and Pat Bev and then have a point guard rotation of Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry, Ricky Rubio, and Pat Bev. So you have like each guy is like a specialist. And that's kind of how it is here. You got Dennis Schroeder, who's like the true microwave, go balls to the wall type guy. And then you have yourself, the floor general and Chris Paul. And I think that one's a very, very underrated asset, and he would probably be the starter. Then you have yourself D'Angelo Russell, who can be a combo guard or a point guard and really, really be helpful to this team. So let me hear your thoughts.